I'm so excited to introduce you to one of my very favorite people in the world, Melanie Grimm. She is our certification and retreat coordinator, and we affectionately on team call her our CBO. She is our Chief Boundary Officer. Where she keeps us in line, keeps us in check. And we wanted to come on and talk today about, well, specifically about the continuing education credits that are included in the BodyMind Coaching Program, and also really get into the method itself, the coaching method itself, and what that looks like and really what that means for you. So if you have questions as you're listening to this, I see y'all popping on here. If you have questions as you're listening, put them into the chat box. Let us know your name. Sometimes the way this platform works, it doesn't always tell us that. And so Melanie Dawn, and I think this is the other part we have to say. I called her Melanie Dawn. I've known Melanie since we were in second grade.
Yeah.
I said it right.
Yes. It's the first time in 98 years.
Yeah, I know. So let me just share with you that as I was developing BodyMind Coaching, there were a couple things that were non-negotiable in this program. One of them was obviously teaching the coaching. The other was teaching sales. And the third one is that I wanted a live component. And I invited at my second live event. We've done 12, 11, 12, something like that. 13. So we've done 13 of the CE courses. At the second one, I was like, I need somebody in the room just to help me. And so I invited Melanie, somebody who I adore, to come in and sit there. And I think that was a pivotal moment in our relationship because I had to let her see me as somebody else than just friend Laura. So anyway, Melanie, we often joke, she knows the real me, and she also has all the dirt on me if you want some good stories.
Which is still kind of the funny version, because we were chatting before we started and we're like, old school friend chatting. And then all of a sudden we're like, yes, and we're professional, which we are. But also, yeah, I got all the goods. So
yeah, all the goods. If you really want the stories, yeah, you can look there. So one of the things that's included in the BodyMind Coaching Program is a live coach training that has CE credits available. So did you want to just share a little bit, now that you've taken over kind of the retreat coordinator, just share a little bit about the experience and what that entails?
Yeah, absolutely. Before I do, I just want to double check that you guys are seeing me okay and hearing me okay. Laura, my camera froze on my view, but I think because my audio is still coming through, it's okay. Can you still see me okay?
I can still see you okay. It's working for me. Keep talking. I'll pop in the Facebook group and double check.
Gorgeous. So, hi guys, I'm Melanie. And like Laura said, I am your workshop coordinator. So that means I get to do all of the nuts and bolts details, all the spreadsheets, which my girl Laura, not so much with the spreadsheets. So that's why we have an amazing team. This is friends jokes, of course, again, too. But this is also part of your learning process, is when you have friends and people you work with who are good at things that you don't like spreadsheets, let them do it. You don't have to do the spreadsheets. So anyway, I'm your workshop coordinator when you come to BodyMind Coaching and BodyMind Live, it's called. We do a 4-day live event. It has always been up in person up until 2020, when we got the lovely opportunity to go virtual and try that out. So we started with a couple mini workshops of like the best of BodyMind Live, just to give our members a taste of what we couldn't be doing in person. And then finally we were like, let's go all in. Let's do the full 4 days. And it opened up amazing possibilities. So part of the exciting development from that is all of our workshops moving forward have both live and virtual opportunities to attend, which is great because we've got people from all over the world. So we still want everybody to come live because, oh my gosh, it is amazing. But either way, there's 28 CEs on the table to learn the BodyMind Method, and they all come from NCBTMB. So it is chock full of experience points in terms of them. But more than anything, it's full of amazing community. I think that's the word I want to go with, because it is showing up to a group of people that are on this energy level, Laura, I don't know if this is the way you would describe it too, but all of a sudden you're in a room with a bunch of people who get it, who are like operating on that same level of heart and determination and sensitivity in like the good way of sensitivity. And you're like, holy crap, I'm not alone in this. Like, it's just community. So it's so full of opportunities for learning because of that. And so everything just deepens and connects, and it's amazing. You asked a short question and I gave a long answer. There's 8 of them, and I can't see your face, so I can't see if you're like. Anyway, yeah, that's my first answer.
Okay, maybe it's a good thing there's an opportunity in your camera freezing. Yeah, so like Melanie said, words. It's a 4-day coach training, and it is NCBTMB approved for 28 CE credits for those of you who get that. So it's like amazeballs. And the other thing is, and I don't know how, and maybe you can talk about this more eloquently than I can. I get that those of you listening, maybe you've thought about becoming a coach. Maybe you've been thinking about how to work smarter, not harder, how to shift things in your business, all those things. Yes, we teach you all those things, right? And right now, so we step into our next coach training starts next week, and we take you through the BodyMind Method. There is a piece of this entire process that is the inner work. For me, Body Mind Living is about doing the inner work to do the outer work. And then you do the outer work to do the inner work. That infinity sign in and out thing. So what we see is, yes, we want to teach you the knowledge and all of that. And at some point, there's the 4-day training really acts as this catalyst to step into a new level, because for many of our clients, just traveling to the event, we had folks in Australia and the UK and Hawaii and across Canada and the Caribbean who have joined us. We had somebody who literally to make space to show up to the event changes you. And the event itself is really about taking this whole learning process and helping it gel for you. So we can see you playing with your camera, Melanie Dawn.
Oh, noted. There's a delay. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. Is it working? You good? It's the hardest thing when you're doing this and you can't see yourself. So can you maybe share a little bit? And by the way, Melanie's background is in nursing, if you guys want to know. And can you share a little bit about the expansion, the growth that gets to come in this?
Yeah. When you said a part of this is like your own coaching, I was like, well, that's kind of not saying enough.
Okay.
I think it's even bigger, because I know we talk, so we coach you, we teach you how to coach, we teach how to sell your coaching. But that component of coaching you is so integral to the process that I feel like it can't be understated. I just want to shout it from the rooftops, because I was just saying to Laura earlier, it's one of the reasons this program is different from so many other programs out there, is that the level of coaching you receive, while you have all these tools, great, we have all the things. We have all the things you could need to build your business and build your coaching. And also, part of what is amazing about this program is that you get to discover and rediscover and amplify and shine off and all the things, the parts of you that actually make you a really successful coach. You've got it in there. And having a coach that goes through and helps you discover what's true for you, what feels aligned, how to be in alignment with yourself, and then build a business from that place, or to continue operating a business from a place where your decisions are in alignment because you've done the work. There's nothing better than that. And you can't, in my opinion, you can't be successful as a coach if you're not receiving coaching, if you're not aligned yourself. And that doesn't mean we don't all as coaches have moments where we're like, what the F is going on? Laura, I know Laura says the F word occasionally, but I didn't want to say it on here because I don't know what the Facebook rules are. But yeah, we have moments where we're like, what is happening? But we also have the tools in community, in each other, to come back in and be like, okay, and get grounded again because I know what my values are. I know all the things. Like I just don't want to underplay the amazingness of receiving coaching and how important that is to building a sustainable business.
And can you speak a little bit to, it's not just that you're receiving coaching, you are receiving BodyMind Method coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this is something I always feel like Laura doesn't say enough. When Laura built her business, she spent a fair amount of time, like, okay, so I used to be on the enrollment team, and Laura, you can just cut me off if you don't want me to share all of this, but it's happening now. So, friends.
And again, even before that, because I know that there's a lot of folks who you're like, we've heard from a few of you, you're like, okay, I'll do this when the external circumstances are perfect. I'll do this when I've figured it out. When I take the thing you taught in Package Your Brilliance and it shows me that it works. And I want you to hear, Melanie literally watched me jump and jump again and jump again. So even if you want to go back to there, now you may speak.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Is I watched Laura go through the process of building this. Like when Laura first started, she's a massage therapist. She has all these clients booked. And this is what I shared on what I was going to say. When I was on the enrollment team, I used to share this on my calls. When Laura started out, she was a massage therapist and she was wildly successful. Like I've had her body work. It's amazeballs, because she is intuitive and amazing and all of that. And she was like, there's a part of this missing. And I think you guys know that feeling of I'm successful in the massage world. I'm really baller at what I do, but there's a part missing. And so she got her coaching certification. And then she's like, okay, but there's got to be a way to put these together. And she was hitting walls of like, how do I do this most effectively? How do I do this and stay within my licensure and my scope of practice? Like it was years where, and part of the reason I'm CBO on team, I think, is because I've been Laura's coach in the wings, like her friend coach for a long time. So like we had a lot of talks of how do I build this? And she spent a lot of years figuring out how to do it. And she ended up over all of those years and all of that experience, creating this BodyMind method. And so it is the distillation of her years of where you guys are right now. So like Laura was there, this place where she's like, I think I have the tools and I just need to, but like she figured it out and put it in the BodyMind method. And now where you're in that, you guys, I hear you and I see you. You're in a place where you're like, I have all these tools. I think I can put it all together. And I'm here to tell you, don't wait to join a program, whatever it is. It should be this, but whatever it is that offers you coaching and community and a structure like the BodyMind method to get you going. Because I'm going to wait a month or two and see where I am, or I'm going to give it a try for 6 months and I'll come back. We've been doing this long enough, hard truth to tell you, like, it's not enough. And it's a waste of your genius. It's a waste of your time to put off saying yes to something that's going to change your life. And like I said, it can be any program that offers you community, sorry, Laura, that offers community and structure and amazingness. It should be this one, but also any of them. You need to say yes to something in a big way that is going to move you forward.
Yeah.
That's what it'll do.
Yeah. We had one of our co-working sessions today, which was so wonderful. And there was somebody in the group who was like, well, once I sell a program or once I figure out the things, then I'm going to do the thing where I get to choose myself. And part of stepping into this and activating this is about you actually, Heidi Mitro says, you go first. You have to choose yourself first. And the BodyMind Method, first of all, we talk about how the BodyMind Method, right, it works within your services. It can enhance your hands-on work and it can be done virtually. Well, you get matched with a one-on-one coach and you get to receive virtual coaching and you get to receive what it feels like to have a coaching method that is grounded in your embodiment. And you get to have somebody like this is a framework, and the magic comes from you connecting to you and what is best for you. And that is true for your clients as well. It's like we have the pieces and parts, and our job is to say, how do you want to feel? What does that look like for you? And then how can we take these pieces and put them together in a way where you are operating in a space that I think the hardest part of this is like when you step into that, you're like, can it actually be this easy?
Yeah.
And I just, it's amazing. And like Melanie, you say this so well, like the person, if you feel this, and I think we also had somebody else in our co-working session today, who's amazeballs. And I heard her heart saying, this is absolutely a fit. This is totally for me. I like everything that you're sharing is for me. And I'm just going to wait a little bit longer until it fits in with things. And I didn't have the words so eloquently in the moment. So if you're listening and you know who you were, part of body mind, right? All of you tell your clients to live body, mind, and soul. Part of living body mind is when you feel the inner alignment within yourself, in your heart, that's when it's a yes, right? The person who's a yes today is a perfect fit for this program. We don't know who the person you're going to be in 6 months is. And we can't say if that person's going to be aligned. And we can't say if that's going to, like, when your heart says yes, we have just learned you take the next step.
Yeah.
Despite the logic.
And that's something I would want to be able to communicate to them too, is to be able to tell you guys, it feels amazing to start to honor that yes. To start to honor when you have that full body thing, when you have whatever it is for you, and if you can learn how to describe and recognize it, that's your key. Like you've unlocked your future when you can recognize that. And when you start to say yes, when you feel those and recognize that, the feeling that is there is freedom. Because you're actually listening to yourself for the first time. Because what I think we're used to doing, those of us that are healers and feelers, is we feel the yes, and then our brain is like, okay, how do we do that within this system that's been built by people who aren't used to speaking that language? And it tells us, no, I need to wait. I need to have this much money to do it. I need to be logical. I need to be responsible. Whatever words are held on, we call them, there's a gremlin probably hiding under there, right? And so I think that opportunity to just honor that for the first time is one of the biggest jump starts to your next level.
Yeah. And the hardest part of the process is saying yes. And what were you going to say?
That's where your power is. Laura says consistently, we're not here to give you something you don't already have. Like you have shown up in this moment to this program, in this world for a reason. You have the pieces, and it's part of the genius of body mind. But I am a metaphor person. I'm a very visual metaphor person. So one of the things I always think about is like, you have all these skills and amazing things you've brought together. You've learned all these different modalities. You've learned all these different tools. You've gotten different certifications, and you're like walking around holding all of them. I can't see my own camera, so I don't know if you can see me holding all of my modalities here.
I can see you. Yes, it's beautiful. Okay.
You're walking around trying to hold on to all of them, but then what do you give to the client? And it's sort of like this smorgasbord of stuff, right? And I think part of the genius of body mind is that it becomes one that through the coaching, you build your own blueprint. You have all the things and you get coached and you're in community and you learn how to recognize your own alignment, and that is your blueprint. And then body mind and the body mind method is like the mortar that builds the amazingness from all these like bricks and modalities and things you're carrying around. I don't think I said bricks originally, but that's what I was carrying, in case you guys wanted to know. So you have all these bricks, and then you get a blueprint, and then you have the mortar, and you can build something really amazing.
Yeah. And that is like one of my biggest intentions. And I said this before is I love our coaching model, and our coaching model is about accessing this body intelligence. It's about bringing forth that wisdom that all of us feel, like Melanie said at the beginning of this. And thank you for that reminder. I remember being in those massage sessions and feeling like I was touching something that I wanted my clients to be able to access. And there was always this missing piece. And it was like, what is it? What is it? So this BodyMind method is, we actually want to give voice to the body. And that coaching structure brings in that wisdom. And it's, you guys are interested in the BodyMind method because you want to help clients access their own inner wisdom. And guess where it starts? It starts by you honoring your own inner wisdom that says, yes, I need to be here and it's time, right? Like this is
That's literally exactly what I was just going to say, is when your clients see you live in alignment, sometimes that's raising prices. Like for those of you that are just coming in with PYB and recognizing it, sometimes that's raising prices. Sometimes it's honoring boundaries, starting to like enforce that cancellation policy, some of those things where you are putting yourself up there and honoring yourself and the choices that you've made. Then your clients see that and they're like, okay, awesome. And that's when they start to do it for themselves and work with you to do it for themselves. Because probably a lot of you have been doing some form of coaching in those like half an hours after your session, half an hour before your session, hour after, whatever, giving them recommended exercises or, stretches, things, depending upon what your licensures and specialities are. But like, you've probably been doing this, and how often do they come back in the same place? Right? So it starts with you. And when they see you do it, instinctively, they start to do it too. And then when it doubles down with they buy into your programs, everything opens up.
And I think that's the other part of this, is that there's a voice in your head that says, well, I can't say no to the client. I can't raise my rates. I can't do the 1, 2, 3 because, in the story that's in your mind that they'll leave you and that your business will go away and then blah. And what we are here to tell you, and I can't, we have helped, I would say, I would venture to guess it's 100%, but I will say 99% just to be safe. But we have helped nearly every single one of our clients raise their rates. And every time they do that, they're like, oh, they're going to leave. And maybe 1 or 2 don't stick around. But what typically happens is when you start to honor yourself, that actually lifts people up around you. And then they start saying, oh, well, how do I do that for myself? Here's the irony of this. And you want your clients, the reason they're stressed out and in pain is because they're not honoring their values. They're not enforcing their boundaries. They're not owning their own brilliance. Yet you are taught in this industry to sacrifice yourself, ignore your values, ignore your boundaries in service of them, hopefully one day maybe actually doing it for themselves. What we are inviting you into is a process where you live this. And as you live this, you inspire them. You want to know the best marketing you will ever do for your business? Live your own damn work. Like, enforce the boundary, raise the rates, like do the thing, right? And so this is part of, and I know that you're sitting there, maybe I see some hearts coming through, maybe you're having the aha and you're like, yes, that's the beginning. Now the real work is in making this a part of your process. And one of the things Melanie does is she also does the certification portion of the process. She has some folks that she's in process of certifying right now.
9. It's very exciting.
It's very exciting. When you certify this, part of the certification is how do you change? So Melanie reviews the certification, she reviews the calls. And so part of the assessment is what shifts for your clients by using the method, and also what shifts for you. Can you maybe share a little bit about what you hear in both of those buckets?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, your sound just cut out.
Ooh. I didn't touch
Come
it.
back.
Can you hear me right now?
I can't hear you. Maybe
Okay.
try the headphones again.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll pair. I can plug in.
She might have to leave and come. We'll figure this out. I'll just keep talking. For those of you listening, as she's doing this, I put in the link as you're listening. I have been, okay, every day I get grounded. I do my meditation. This morning, my grounding exercise included, can you hear me? I can hear. Can you hear me? Jody, can you hear Melanie? This morning I did my grounding exercise, and that's when I wanted to, I cleaned my closet as part of my grounding today. Does anybody ever do that? And okay, you can hear Melanie. You can hear both of us. Okay, so I have just been feeling there's some of you who are, I just feel your energy like circling around. You're like, I don't know, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? And I just want to like loving nudge. I feel your energy just waiting to activate, right? We'd say activate because literally activating your enrollment is about activating support. It's about activating how this is going to show up, how the money is going to show up, how the clients are going to show up. So we say activate intentionally. So I've just felt some of you around ready to activate. And so I just want to, I put the link in there, thenewbodymind.com/activation. You can activate your enrollment by putting down the activation fee. We'll get on an onboarding call and just double check this feels good. If you've talked to an enrollment coach, you're also welcome to reach out to them. Just know we are here to answer and support you with anything that you might need. Okay, Melanie, say something.
So I think part of what I want to just, I'll transition from what you said there is it is activating, absolutely. And again, it's honoring. So I feel like it's honor and activate. I know that's not our lingo that we use, but I'm just saying it for today. It is honoring and activating. So when we talk about, I'm going to go back to Laura's question, was kind of looking at our certification process. And when coaches that are coming to us to complete their certification in the BodyMind Method, it is all about looking at their clients' progress and their progress. And there's paperwork, yes, they're submitting, like there's steps to get certified, but really it is all about and in support of your growth and your clients' growth, because that's what the BodyMind Method is. The BodyMind Method is you honoring your alignment, like doing the work so that you make sure you recognize when you are having that full body yes, when you are in alignment and moving forward, so that your clients can do the same, and helping them recognize it for themselves. And so that's what the certification process does as well. It's the opportunity for you to do the coaching, like get out there and coach, do the coaching and reflect on what feels good. Like I will tell you often in paperwork, in every certification packet, at some point, the coach says, wow, I really learned why me saying no is a good thing. Like not every client is your client. Not because they don't say yes to you, because you say yes to you. You recognize this person isn't ready. This person, we're not going to gel. Whatever it is, like they are stuck in their whatever. And every coach goes through where they make an offer that undervalues their own time. It's underpriced. It's to a client that's not really a good fit. Like every coach goes through that, and it's all lesson learning. So
and it's the most valuable thing. I will like,
yeah.
The clients where it's not always a fit, or the container that you sell for $1,000, even though your heart says it should be 2,000, is often the best. It will make you 10 grand in the end, or it will always come back.
It's a super strong learning tool. I mean, I think we all know that, not that those moments where you're like, oh, that was a mistake. Like it's not really a mistake. It's a learning opportunity. That doesn't mean it feels good. Like when you're in the third month of that $1,000 program, it should have been $3,000. You're like, I can't wait to like offer the one that feels better and aligned next time. But you learn so much. And I'd say that's something I see often within the certification packets, is that those opportunities for growth where they just get to recognize like their gut told them something and they were like, meh, and they went and just did the thing that wasn't in alignment. And then it clarifies again. And I think Laura will tell you, anyone on our team will tell you, we all have those moments still where like the old script is in your brain right? No one is perfect. Laura's not perfect. Our team's not perfect. But the more you practice the work, the faster you recognize it. Like one, the more often you get used to just saying yes to your alignment and honoring yourself, so that when you don't, you recognize it. You recognize it and you get to change right away. And that's powerful because you guys, how long have you lived in something that was out of alignment? Like we get used to living in that place of blah. Easier, like it's easy to do because a lot of people, I think this is again genius of body mind, there are so many people that live disconnected out in the world that there's memes about it, there's jokes about it, like it's just supposed to be, you're not supposed to love what you do, it's supposed to be work, you like live to work, work to live sort of thing. And we get so used to seeing it in our surrounding society that it's like acceptable somehow, but it's not okay. Honoring you, recognize, and you got to do the work to know what that really truly looks like. But it opens up everything and makes you realize that's bullshit. Living like that is bullshit. Like saying yes to you, that's where it is.
Yeah. And this popped up.
Distracted and
yeah, you did. There's a second part to that question, but as you were talking, like just what showed up is, again, Melanie, and you can sit down and have lunch with her when you come to live and get your CA credits, because we stopped talking about that. And she can tell you the stories. The process that we are here to teach, we live. I know some of you are sitting there like, oh, it's an investment into BodyMind. And that price is us owning and reflecting our value and all the support that comes with this. And also, your clients, when they invest in your programs, it's about them being the person that makes their health and wellness a priority. When you step into BodyMind, look at this activation, look at coming in as, this is about me deciding that I get to be the person who shows up at that level. And like she said, like I get to choose myself in a really big way. And
it's the value of transformation.
Yeah, it totally is. The second part of that question, and this is something that always makes me happy, is what do you hear about their clients' transformation? So we're sitting here talking to all the folks who are considering and like what happens for them, but what's in it for your clients?
Yeah, the biggest thing that comes through on the certification packets is they're doing the work. They're actually doing the work. Actually, I just had I was just reading someone's notes the other day, and they were like, it's an amazing opportunity to see, even when sometimes in our own head we're like, well, that's not going to work. It does. Like, that's a fun thing about coaching, is sometimes you have to really release, your clients get to come up with their own solutions, and every now and again you'll have one where you're like, okay, and it works because they came up with it, because it is within them, because it's aligned for them. So it's reiterates again and again, like the power of the process, because they're using the BodyMind method with their clients. Their client came up with a solution that worked for them. So anyway, that is one example. But the overall tone and tenor is that their clients are actually seeing change for the first time in years for a lot of them, because a lot of these clients are the ones that have seen them for a long time and they've had stuff going on in their body, but they're not making the changes. Or they are people who have been out there trying to make changes on their own, but they haven't had any support. And they finally come into this amazing structure and their lives are changed. And it really is. It's watching someone honor themselves for the first time. We get to do it with you guys, and you guys get to do it with your clients, you folks. And watching them, it sounds so cheesy, but I'm going to say it. It's like watching them blossom for the first time.
Yeah.
Like really open up and show who they actually have meant to be and wanted to be, without anybody else's like expectations or beliefs on top of them. Yeah. That's the biggest thing that we get to celebrate, I think, through certification. I love reading them. I love listening to it. Everyone submits a session where they're using the BodyMind method. So like we get to make sure that BodyMind method is out there and being used in amazing ways, and watching their clients do the work and have the ahas. And a lot of the time I get sessions submitted that were towards the end of their container. And so I get to hear their clients telling them how different their lives are. And it is, it's a blessing for me to be able to like witness and be a part of, even externally. So, and I know these coaches, what they write as they're reflecting on it is, their lives, everybody's are changed.
Yeah. It makes me want to cry.
Yeah, it is. It's incredibly powerful because it's true. It's true.
Is it ever like kind of meta because all this came from like we knew each other since we were 8, 9, 7? Is that a little weird?
It is weird. I mean, it's funny because you guys, okay, so when Laura first asked me to work for her, I was working as a NICU nurse. Life is good. Took some time to like drive across the country and have some time figuring out for me. And Laura spent, what, 3 years?
I was going to say 2. It was a couple years.
It was at least 2 years, I would say, a year or two, trying to be like, come work at BodyMind. I'd gone to workshops to help out and like kind of be her gopher and sit and experience and help facilitate. And I was like, no. And now I'm like, what? I should have done this way sooner. And yeah, there is sort of like a weirdness of my friend that I've known forever and ever, seeing her in this role is like, oh, changing lives is, and it's funny because neither of our families, you guys know how it is when you're like describing what you do. There's people that are like, now wait, what? And occasionally even our families are be like, wait, now how does that work? And then they experience and they're like, okay, or they see some, anyway.
My dad still has no idea what I do. He just don't say the F word so often.
And asks me every time I see him, can you get Laura to stop saying F word?
I do want to circle back to something. So one of the things that, just thinking of our clients, and then we can start to wrap this up. And again, if you have any questions, apparently it was my tech glitch that I didn't hear you, Melanie. Your sound was coming through anyway. One of the things that always blows my mind within BodyMind Coaching is that there's always a post a couple months in where our members going through the program realize that some common stress or physical pain that they've had is not there anymore. It's very common that we hear this from our members just from like learning and doing this process for themselves. And one of the things that we hear, so for most of you, stress and pain is probably the most common thing that you hear from your clients. And I think one of the old stories, hi Amy, one of the old stories that we often hear, or that we tell ourselves, is that in order for them to have less stress and less pain, we have to be shoving our elbows in their back, or we have to be taking them through the yoga flow, and this idea of body mind working together, actually getting the physiology right, the 3 brains working together. It's not that I absolutely want to make this clear. We're not guaranteeing that there's never stress and never pain. But what this process does in the coaching model that we teach is it shifts the relationship of how somebody connects within themselves. And when you're able to shift that, and instead of looking at pain and stress as the enemy, it changes how it literally grips you. And it changes how so once they have this awareness, folks are able to shift how they make choices and, how they decide to show up into their life. And so we were here to talk about the CE course, which is amazing. and the CE course exists, right? You're learning all of this, you're doing this, and we do the CE course to bring you in, right? Like it's a container within a container. You're in the BodyMind Method, you're learning the method, you're doing the thing, and then we bring you into this really sacred, deep dive, be here, be fully immersed. I think maybe immersion is a good word, in the process. And what happens in that time is just
magic.
It's magic.
Yeah, I think anyone who has attended a BodyMind Live workshop will tell you there's this moment where they're like, oh, there's just, it is where everything comes together in a really powerful way. Because, and I think, pardon me if I've said it multiple times, but I'll just keep saying, community it's a value for me. So I think that's part of why, but community, that connection is so important. Having a group of people who will truthfully and authentically reflect to you what they're seeing and support you in your growth is priceless. And so I think that's part of the magic of BodyMind Live and BodyMind in general. And in BodyMind Live, it's an immersive, intensive opportunity to really put all the pieces together, because you have the opportunity to go home at night or go to the hotel or the Airbnb or whatever, and and then come back the next day and build and build and build. And that it comes with 28 CEs is cherry on the top.
Yeah.
It is the experience of, I think it's like the experience of the container.
Yeah.
But that's probably because it's my thing.
It'll definitely be the thing you remember for years to come. I mean, Melanie, you've been to other retreats with very big name people, and you came back and you're like, oh man, if they'd only body minded this thing.
Yeah, there's this moment where they're in the middle of something and I'll be like, they just took this next step that BodyMind does. They just did this next thing. You can see how it would all open up. You could see how this would all, yeah.
Yeah. And just as a heads up for those maybe thinking this, just we are rolling with the times as well. And what Melanie shared this earlier, one of the things that actually opened up for us with the craziness of the past couple of years is we are now able to, you can attend virtually. And as of now, we're planning to attend. You can choose to come either virtually or in person. So really anywhere in the world you can be with us. And and the way we set it up.
By the way, our next live workshop is in June. So if you were to come into this class, you could be with us as soon as June in workshop, receiving these CEs and receiving all of this amazingness. So I just want to put in that little plug for do it now, because those of you that are oh, I'll give it a couple months, you're going to hit June and be like, I could be at the live workshop. I could be there. I could all of it could be different if I had said yes then, which feels, don't let it feel that way. Because our experience tells us if it's a yes now, hop on the call to talk to one of our enrollment coaches so that we can make sure it's a yes all around and make sure that you feel really aligned and ready to go. Because in June, you don't want to be well, all that time passed anyway and nothing has changed. Yeah. I love you too much to let you end up in that place.
Yeah. Get there. Do this. Yeah. So again.
And I'm fun, you guys. Come have fun with me and I'll tell you Laura's secrets.
Don't worry that I have stories on you. Or don't forget that I have stories on you too. And so we've been talking this week. We've been talking about it's a coach training. It's a sales program, a business program, a personal coach training. And now we're sprinkling in 28 CE credits within this. Please, there's just so much waiting for you. Get your booty in here, have some fun. You get to hang out with us. Y'all would love Melanie. So again, if you have any questions, my team is all over the place in this Facebook group. You can email us. And also I put the link in there, the newbodymind.com/activation. So that goes to a little information page. You can read again and see all the things that are included in that. You can activate your enrollment by putting down the activation fee, and we'll get on a call and just make sure it's a great fit. If you still want to talk to somebody first, totally get it. You can absolutely still schedule the call. There's a link in there too for that. We just want to, what?
I just put a super quick plug in too for our enrollment coaches. So we call them enrollment coaches for a reason. When you hop on a call, it's a coaching container with one of our team coaches who are baller. They're amazing. So hopping on a call isn't just coming in and somebody be like, so do you want to come? Do you want to join our program? It is an experience. It's a coaching experience. And if nothing else, you get to learn more about yourself and more about what it feels like to be coached. And they really, their whole training is to facilitate you, whoever you are, showing up on the call to make sure that the decision you make is in alignment. And that's whether it's a yes or whether it's a no. That's their whole purpose, is to give you the opportunity to learn more about you and be coached in that moment, and then come to decision. And oh my gosh, it feels really good to come to decision, no matter what it is. Like the land of the maybe is, for me, exhausting. I'm a fact finder. I like to bring in a bunch of new information, and sometimes then it gets me stuck in this like swirly trap. And even though I think it's in service to me at the time, it's not. It's draining. And when I make a decision that's in alignment, especially, any decision's good, but one that's in alignment, holy cow, like that's the best. Yeah. So I just would say, if you're thinking about getting on a call, if you haven't talked with one of our enrollment coaches yet, just know that it's an experience to show up on a call. Like, it is worth talking to them just to have the experience of talking to them, because they are really amazing people and amazing coaches.
Yeah. And also there are associate coaches in the program too. So
yeah,
it's just amazing.
And they all are BodyMind graduates at one point or another too, right? I was just running through the enrollment team in my head. I'm 99%. I mean, they're all BodyMind coaches. So yeah.
Everybody has gone through the program. Everybody is at exactly where you are. Like, holy, what? Can I really do this? Yeah. And amazing. Melanie, you're amazing. I'm just so grateful. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Thank you. And again, if you have any questions, please post them here. Please just so much support. We have a couple of days left, so it's time to make choice. And trust me, you will feel better when you do. Right?
It feels so good to make choice. And if you want an assist to make an aligned choice, talk to our folks.
Talk to our folks. And also, for those of you who just know, just go press the button, submit your activation fee. We'll get you onboarded, and we're still going to meet with you to make sure this is fully aligned. So this is something that we're doing new this time for those of you who are
to honor the activate, right?
Yeah. This is how I operate. Like, I know when it's a yes, and I just like being able to have the button, and then I'll do it. So if there's anybody else out there who operates that way, we wanted to honor you in this too. So thank you, Melanie Dunn. I adore you so much. And we can't wait to welcome all of you into the program. Get your booty in there. Come on. It really is fantastic.
It is.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye.